my channel. I'm John, and today we're going to have a look at a Chinese knife, the Piston knife as it's called, and this is mainly found at the larger Chinese sites as far as I know, and that means AliExpress, Renegade, or some of the others. And if you go there, I'll just zoom out here. Has the coffee ready as well. If you go there, the price shouldn't be more than around $50 to $60, and I'm telling you this because I've seen it a lot more expensive. They do come in what is supposed to be M390 steel, or at least some of them advertise with it, but I think it's way too cheap. This one, and I stress that, is marked as D2, and I think that sort of fits the price range a little better, so a little caution there. So D2 is the best way to go, and D2 it is written, if I can, oh there it was, on the blade. The blade, we can see it's a slight recurve, maybe, yeah. Very, very slight recurve, satinized finish, sort of the last grind they just left, and that leaves that satin finish with some traces moving that way, if you can tell. No jimping on the back side. The blade is very long. It is a large knife. The blade is 10 centimeters, which would be 3.93 inches, and the whole knife overall length is 22.5 centimeters or 8.86 inches. Still, the handle is titanium, which means that the weight is not that big. It is 4.65 ounces, and that would be 132 grams. The thing that is really this knife's claim for fame is actually the flipper. As you can see, no flipper, but it is a flipper knife, and it is a hit flipper. The flipper actually, I'll just make it focus, the flipper actually is a loose piece of metal, and I think it is aluminum in this case. Blue actually gives it a nice accent, and what it does is that it moves the blade out and disappears, and it is still up here, and you could tell the jimping in front of the flipper here, and then it functions as a normal frame lock, and you have the flipper there again. An interesting system, works very well, and of course, as you can see, absolutely no flipper to get in the way if you are cutting on surfaces, flat surfaces. You have a little more room than you have when you have a flipper. Downside, when you close it, at least I have a bad habit of letting the flipper touch my finger, stop at my finger. But I should take very good care here because it is sharp right down to there. So actually better just to move your thumb out of the way. And especially since this knife can be made terribly smooth and drop shotty, this is something to use a bit of caution. It's of course a smooth knife is not a bad thing, but be aware that you have no flipper to stop at your fingernail if you use that sort of technique to close it. So the flipper hides here with the jimping, and you can see if I just loosened it. Let's check it out. You can see that's actually an independent piece which grabs the blade when it's closed and opens it, but otherwise it hides and disappears. No particular mechanism in that. It's just two sort of other little pivots going in a groove. no springs or other mechanisms that can that is especially vulnerable. It's just a piece of metal and two pivots, and that also ends up functioning as the lock pin as well. 2/3 backspacer. That is a bit recessed compared to the rest of the knife. Could be a hot spot, is not. And this is aluminum as well. I mentioned that the handle was titanium, and inside, in the titanium they put a little bit of, it's just a carbon fiber laminate, but still looks pretty. Only held together by 2 screws, the pivot and the back screw here on the bottom. Very slender pocket clip. Not room for very much material, which means that it would actually stick out this much of the pocket. And for some that doesn't matter. I like my knives to go deep because of police and so on, but still. And the same inlay carbon fiber on this side. And actually this does that it's half and half a liner lock. I would call it a frame lock, and I believe it is. But what this does is that you don't easily block, some of the frame locks. You can easily block the lock bar when you open it. Pivot is unfortunately free spinning. You open on this side, size Torx 8 on both sides, and it opens very easily. And inside is ceramic ball bearings. Fill and finish is very, very nice. It's very nicely rounded off. No real issues. Very nice finish. Actually, a very good quality. It's difficult to see on camera, but the blade is actually very nicely centered, and the tolerances is so that you can choose to make it absolutely drop shotty. I choose just to give it a little bit of resistance, just for that thing with the blade dropping on your finger, but it still feels awfully smooth. Very, very nice, and it has a fun sound with that lock. I don't know if that goes through my microphone, but with that flipper, it has sort of a double click when you open it. Ergonomically, very big knife. I'm a size 9, and you can see I have a good deal of material behind my little finger. You can, lies very well in hand. Not really, you can choke up, but you have to be careful. Not really an option. It both reverse and ordinary grip, very nice ergonomics, and even draw cut, very nice indeed. Quality wise, for a knife at that price and still titanium and so on, I'm really impressed with the build quality. It is smooth, it is very nice inside. The only thing, did I mention the weight? Yeah, I did. The only thing they could have done to the weight was maybe milling inside the knife. They didn't do that, but you can see here they put the lock bar cut they put inside the knife. That's a nice detail as well. A very nice knife, very pretty, and seems very sturdy as well. No up and down lock play, no side to side, no nothing. Very sturdy, and I have to tell you, the only issue I really want to mention is that I don't know if this is possible to see, but the tip of the blade is very, very close to the handle here. Could have been a little bit farther down into the handle. You just have that small issue there. Just nothing. Came very sharp. Now I got this second hand, so I'm not sure if this is my friend I bought it from, but I don't think he sharpened this one. All in all, very, very nice knife. Except for those little nitpicks I told you about, I can wholeheartedly recommend it. Very nice indeed. Just one last thing, the usual size comparison. Spider Cordelica, steel wool cut shank, and something most of us at least have seen, an ordinary lighter. And with this, which turned out to be far too long, have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.